why does Peter Parker have the absolute worst luck in Marvel Comics? Well, when I go through his story here, you are going to find out. Peter Parker was raised by his Aunt May and his Uncle Ben. His parents, Richard and Mary Parker, they weren't just normal people. These two were deep cover CIA agents. They were recruited into S.H.I.E.L.D. by Nick Fury. They were investigating this criminal syndicate led by the Red Skull of all people. Their cover was blown and they were killed in a sabotaged airplane crash. Peter was young. He was taken in by Richard's older brother, Ben Parker, and his wife, May. Peter, he's brilliant. He's a motherfucking genius. They're also unpopular as well. He got bullied. We all know about bitch-ass Flash Thompson. Peter was a quiet science nerd in school. And during a public science exhibition, a common house spider falls into the path of a particle accelerator. The spider lands on Peter's hand, bites him, and transfers a massive dose of radioactive, basically mutant enzymes into his bloodstream before it died. Peter stumbles out of the exhibit, almost gets hit by a car. He goes to jump out of the way, he leaps 30 feet. So he realizes, like, this shit changed my entire biology due to this one little spider bite. There's a lot of misconceptions about Spider-Man. People tend to believe that he's just a fast, skinny kid with web shooters. They don't realize he is stronger than a lot of characters that get credit for being super strong. He is usually classified in the 10 to 25 ton lifting range. He can punch through solid steel. His reflexes are about 40 times faster than a normal human's, and his equilibrium is perfect. He can balance on a fucking flagpole with one finger. He can crawl on just about anything. He doesn't have sticky pads on his hands. It's not some fucking little suction cups. His body can mentally control the interatomic electrostatic attraction. Basically fucking static between his body and any surface. He can stick to walls through his gloves and through his boots. It's so strong that if somebody tries to pull him off of a wall, the fucking brick wall will break before his grip does. His spider sense. This is probably one of his most overpowered powers, if you will. It's borderline clairvoyant. He's got this radar in the base of his skull that warns him of immediate danger before it happens. So that plus his reflexes allows him to dodge point-blank sniper fire, navigate through total darkness, swing through New York blindfolded if he wanted to. Durability, his healing factor. He's not indestructible, but his muscle tissues are so dense that he can survive beatings from the Hulk or the Juggernaut. He also has an accelerated healing factor, not regeneration. He ain't regrowing limbs like Wolverine and Deadpool, but his broken bones, big ass cuts, massive lacerations, as they call them, they'll heal in a matter of days to where, I mean, dude, a broken bone, what's that take someone our fucking age, bro?
Months.
2 years, you know? Well, yeah, months. But him, a couple days, dude, he's back on the horse. He's a genius. That is something that he had. The bite didn't give him that. And then the web shooters, he created those. So in the comics, I read a comic, his organic webs, yes, they've appeared in a couple stories, but traditionally Spider-Man is, I create my own web shooters. He created these high pressure wrist gauntlets. And he formulates his own web fluid. It's this like thinning liquid adhesive. It expands and hardens after he shoots it, after it has contact with the air. And it dissolves exactly an hour later so it doesn't trash the city. So he'll web up one of these fucking bad guys and just wait for the cops to show up. They better get there within an hour though, because they're gonna run away, you know? Thing about Peter is he didn't start off as a hero, dude. He's a 15-year-old kid. He gets bit, he gets these powers, and his idea was to use this to make money to help his aunt and uncle. He puts on the mask, he becomes a wrestler on TV, Adrian. He's a pro wrestler. He starts fucking making money, cashing checks, right? Then one night after the show, a wrestling show, thief runs past Peter. Peter could easily stop this motherfucker, but he lets him go. He ain't my problem, dude. I'm here, I'm a wrestler, doing 15-year-old wrestler. Days later, he comes home to find out that a burglar broke into his home and murdered Uncle Ben. And he tracks his killer down to a warehouse, unmasks him, and realizes it's the exact same thief he let go. And that is where the whole, with great power, there must also come great responsibility, that line. In the comics, it was just something that was written in a bubble. But Peter is paralyzed by the guilt that due to his own arrogance, he could have stopped somebody that killed the only true father he ever had. So to pay the bills at that point and to buy web fluid, because I mean, he's a 15-year-old kid. That's all he's wearing, like tights and shit. And now it's just Aunt May. And he wants to help out, contribute. So he sets up his camera with automatic timers and starts taking photos of Spider-Man himself fighting crime. And he sells these to Jonah Jameson, who uses those photos to run front page fucking smear campaigns shitting on Spider-Man. He's a public menace. You know, we've seen this 100 times, right? But I believe the Daily Bugle, they put out like some advertisement like, hey, we'll buy pictures of Spider-Man for X. So who better to give you pictures of Spider-Man than Spider-Man? In the beginning, he's taking on like working class guys. You know, you're robbing a bank, you're stealing somebody's bike, that type of shit. He ain't got no friends, he can't get dates, and he can't, get his fucking homework done. And he lives in isolation a lot of times. Let's enter the college years. This is where Peter finally gets a taste, Adrian, okay? Well, he goes to Empire State University. Hey, same place fucking Dr. Doom went. Same place Reed Richards went. I guess geniuses go there. Right. He meets Gwen Stacy. Gwen is a brilliant science major. She matches Peter intellectually. She's sweet. She's grounded. She becomes Peter Parker's first love. They plan a future together, Adrian, but Peter is constantly tortured because he's hiding this secret identity from her. She didn't know he was Spider-Man, or he didn't tell her at least. And then, meanwhile, Aunt May's trying to set Peter up on a blind date. Peter's dodging this for months. He's expecting it to be a bust, and he opens the door. He finally accepts the date, and Mary Jane Watson shows up, and they knew each other from high school. And she drops the famous line, Adrian, face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. Because MJ in the comics is a lot different than MJ in the movies. She's a complete contrast to Gwen. She's this like party girl. She's feisty. She's the it girl, right? Peter loves Gwen because she's safe, she's stable, but he's drawn to MJ's energy. Cool. Now, Gwen Stacy's father, police captain George Stacy, he's killed by crushing debris. It's always the debris, Adrian. And he's trying to save a child during a battle with Doc Ock, and he dies in Spider-Man's arms. And George reveals that he always knew Peter was Spider-Man, and he begs him to take care of his daughter. Gwen blames Spider-Man for her father's death. She still don't know it's Peter. Let's fast forward a little bit. Norman Osborn, this motherfucker. Dude, is there a worse villain for Spider-Man than Green Goblin? Like, Norman Osborn, billionaire, father of Peter's best friend, Harry. He becomes the Green Goblin. The reason he became the Goblin is he was using a version of the super soldier serum that was fucked up, because apparently they can only make one good version. Norman was the first villain to figure out Spider-Man was Peter Parker. And he fucking snaps at one point, kidnaps Gwen Stacy. He throws her off the top of the George Washington Bridge. Peter shoots a web to try to catch her, grabs her by the leg, but violently fucking snaps her neck because of the whiplash. He indirectly caused her death and had to deal with that. So he killed the woman he loves while he tried to save her. Right. It destroys him. This is a trauma that for him is right up there with the Uncle Ben trauma. Peter Parker's going through some motherfucking shit. You got this grief-stricken Peter, and Peter lashes out at everybody, dude. MJ goes to his apartment to comfort him, and he tells her, get the fuck out of here. I don't know if that was verbatim, but instead of running away, she closed the door, she stayed, and this is where she kind of drops that shallow facade and really connects with him and becomes the rock for him, Adrian. Not Dwayne Johnson, but like, you know what I mean? And years later, MJ reveals that I've known you were Spider-Man since high school, dumbass. So I guess what we find out is he ain't as good at keeping his identity under the wraps. Like, he ain't Batman, dude. Right. You fucking, everybody knows. She said, I looked out the window the night Uncle Ben died, and I saw you crawling out of your bedroom in your cot, because they were neighbors. So she just kept it a secret the entire time. So, I mean, their relationship, it matures. It's probably one of the most supportive partnerships in Marvel, right? They eventually get married, and MJ becomes the one person who really understands, I guess, Spider-Man's burden. You know, this whole mask, keeping the identity, because she's, you know, part of Peter's life, and by virtue, also Spider-Man. Good old Beyonder, Adrian. In 1984, this motherfucker kidnapped all the Earth's heroes and villains, throws them onto this patchwork planet called Battle World to fight, right? He just wants all to fight. He was bored. Peter's classic red and blue suit gets shredded. He finds a machine that drops a black square somewhere, and it crawls up on his arm, covers his entire body, and it gives him the black suit, which we learn, you know, later. It's the symbiote. The suit responds to his thoughts. It produces its own webbings. It's not just black tights. It's literally an alien that bonds with the host. When they eventually get back to Earth, this is where Peter realizes this thing's a living alien. It's making him more aggressive. This thing's taking his body out for joyrides as he's sleeping.
Right.
He's supposed to be sleeping, fucking symbiote. We're swinging around, living our best life, right? He figures out that the suit's weakness is fucking certain frequency noises. He ends up at a church. The church bells actually rattle this symbiote. So he's up there fucking banging the bells, Adrian. And this leads us to the birth of the ultimate Spider-Man hater himself, Venom. There's an individual, a bitch-ass motherfucker named Eddie Brock, okay? He's a successful journalist for the Daily Globe, a rival to the Daily Bugle. And Eddie breaks this biggest story of his career. Exclusive interview with a man who claims to be this serial killer known as Sin Eater. The story makes Eddie a star because he got a fucking, I mean, it'd be like getting an interview with Jeffrey Dahmer and shit. Like, while he's out killing people and shit. You have time for an interview, Jeffrey? Yeah, sure. What do you have to eat today, you know? So shortly after the article drops, Spider-Man catches the real Sin Eater, who is a deranged police detective named Stan Carter. So Eddie is a motherfucking liar. So what happens? He gets exposed, Eddie gets fired, and now he's disgraced from journalism. His wife leaves him over this. Damn. So he's reduced to writing like trashy tabloid articles for fucking no money. Eddie, an unaccountable fuck, refuses to take responsibility for poor fact checking. Adrian, what do we tell people every day on this show? Every day, every
Fact
week?
check.
Fact
Everything.
check. So this
literally everything.
Yeah. He did not fact check shit. So, and he takes no responsibility. Who does he blame? He blames Spider-Man.
Of course.
Spider-Man, you ruined my life. He's suicidal. He's disgraced. He goes where a lot of people like that go, Adrian. Went to church. He was praying for forgiveness before taking his own life. This was his plan. Just by pure coincidence, it's the same church where Peter Parker's fucking banging the bell. And this dying symbiote falls from the bed tower into the lower church. It senses Eddie Brock. More importantly, though, it senses that Eddie Brock is psychotic and he has this obsessive hate for Spider-Man. So the symbiote's like, well, shit, I fucking hate Spider-Man too. He just rang the bell and tried to kill me. They bond instantly. Then the alien gives Eddie all of Spider-Man's secrets. And the biggest Spider-Man hater, period, Venom, is born at this church. We got a major disservice on screen with Venom because Venom is a fucking problem, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's literally one of the scariest Spider-Man villains, period.
Yep.
Because Peter wore the symbiote for so long, Venom does not trigger Peter's Spidey sense.
Correct.
Because it bonded with him. So Venom knows Peter's Spider-Man. He knows where he lives. He knows who he's married to. So Venom's introduction wasn't just like some bullshit bank robbery. He broke into Peter and MJ's apartment, stepping out the shadows, scaring the shit out of MJ just to prove that he can get to them. And just showed up like, bitches, I'm here, you know, butt-ass naked. Maybe he didn't, I don't know. Just to show what he could do. Let's move on a little bit. Kraven. This was another fucking shitty-ass movie. Kraven, The Last Hunt. This is a great story. Sergei Kravenov, Kraven the Hunter, at this point, he's aging and he's losing his mind, okay? He's hunted every beast on Earth, but he's failed to catch the ultimate prey, the spider. He believes he's nearing the end of his life, so he decides that he doesn't want to just kill Spider-Man. He wants to destroy his legacy and prove that he could be a better Spider-Man. So he's really fucking losing his mind here, okay? Right. He's off his rocker, as they say. Kraven corners Peter in an alley, shoots him point blank with a rifle, but it's not a bullet. It's a tranquilizer. Puts Peter in a deep, death-like coma. Kraven drags Peter's unconscious body to his estate, drops him in a coffin, and buries him alive under 6 feet of dirt. Peter's trapped underground. Kraven puts on a replica of the black suit, and for 2 weeks, his bitch ass patrols New York City as Spider-Man. He savagely beats criminals to a pulp, proving that he's superior to Spider-Man. He hunts down Vermin. You know this motherfucker, this rat-like mutant?
Yep.
Peter needed Captain America's help to defeat Vermin. Vermin's a motherfucker. Kraven beats him single-handedly, locks him in a cage. Now, down in the grave, the tranquilizer begins to wear off. Peter wakes up, suffocating inside a coffin. He hallucinates, nearly gives up, but his love for MJ, Adrian, that helped him push through. They recently got married, and he's thinking of her, which fuels him. Peter Parker claws way out of the grave in a torrential downpour at that. Spider-Man comes back, Adrian. He tracks Kraven down. He's furious. When he finds him, though, Kraven doesn't fight back. He smiles. He refuses to throw a punch because in his mind, he already won. He defeated Spider-Man, took his place, proved that he was superior. He releases Vermin. Peter chases after Vermin to save the city. Kraven goes back to his study. He's looking at some old photographs. He's reflecting on his life. He feels he had his honor restored. Picks up a rifle, takes his own life. Peter returns to find Kraven done. Again, shitty luck, right? Peter Parker. Civil War. The government mandates that all superheroes must unmask in the comics. Tony Stark takes Peter under his wing at this point, gives him the Iron Spider armor, and he convinces Peter to unmask on live TV because this is part of their mandate. You can't be hidden. You can't be out there doing your own thing. He takes off his mask. He reveals his identity to the entire world. And believe it or not, Adrian, it instantly ruins his motherfucking life. Again, here we go again, right? Kingpin orders a hit on Peter. Peter dodges the bullet. But guess who it hits, Adrian? Aunt May leaves her on the brink of death. Peter puts the black cloth suit back on, goes rogue. He brutally beats Kingpin to a pulp in prison just to send a message to everybody. With Aunt May dying, who shows up? Bitch-ass Mephisto. He offers Peter a deal. He said, I'll save Aunt May, erase the public's memory of Peter's secret identity. We'll put everything back the way it was. But in exchange, you guys can't be married anymore. No more MJ, no more Peter. MJ actually agrees to the deal to save Peter from the guilt of now losing May. Mephisto wipes their marriage from the timeline completely, resets everything, makes Peter a single, struggling hero again, and erasing the greatest romance in Marvel motherfucking history. That, my friends, is the most unlucky motherfucker in all of Marvel Comics, Peter Parker.